Okay, so this chapter is related to perceiving ourselves and others in the organization. So perceiving means becoming aware of or conscious or something like you can realize or understand about yourself as well as other people, maybe co-worker in some organizations, right? So understanding ourselves and understanding others, that is the total topic today that I'm just going to discuss. So what are the learning objective? You can see they describe the self-concept characteristics and processes and how to explain each affects an organizational behavior and well-being. So what is the self-concept? How we consider ourselves, how we consider others. These are characteristics that perceiving something definitely is going to affect the individual's behavior and well-being, and outline the perceptual process. What is the perceptual? Means understanding ourselves, understanding other. That is the perception. That is the perceptual. Means perceiving. What is the process of that? And discuss the effect of categorical thinking and mental model in that process. How stereotype and attributes and self-fulfilling prophecy, hello, and false consensus, primary and recency effect influence the perceptual process. And in this chapter, I will be going to explain about the three ways to improve perceptions with a specific application to the organizational situations, and also outline the main feature of the global mindset. I'm not just talking about the local one city, one state, or a country, but sub global as a whole, the whole world, and justifying its usefulness to employees and organizations. Some of the important words have been used here in this chapter. The first one is a stereotype. What's the meaning of stereotypes here? This is an often unfamiliar and untrue belief that many people have about all people or others or things with a particular characteristics. Some people think like they are this kind of people. They have a stereotype, right? The belief which is not true, and that many people are having in their mind. Many people perceive something, right? So that is a stereotype. Perception, right? Perception is the ability to see, ability to hear, and become aware of something through the senses. That is perceived. The senses, we can say, we can touch, we can feel from our mind, we can see that, we can hear. So perceived. Misperception, a wrong or incorrect understanding or interpretation. The glass is there, someone say the half is filled, and someone say half is empty. It's your own perception. But in the organization, some people say that person is wrong, but actually that person is not wrong, right? That may be the incorrect understanding of the person. As the name of the chapter is the perceiving, means understanding. Here misperception means a misunderstanding, incorrect understanding, that we will discuss today. Discrimination, not fair, means injustice, not justice. Prejudicial means prejudice, bias, injustice. If we perceive something in a different way, we behave in a different way. If we perceive that person is right, our actions will be accordingly. If we perceive that person is wrong, it's a perceived, right? We think that that person is wrong, but that is not wrong. Because of the misunderstanding, incorrect understanding or interpretations, that what we do, our behavior change. We start discriminating that. And definitely, if we say like discrimination, the meaning is clear. That is injustice, prejudiced, and a treatment of the different category of the people, especially on the ground of the ethnicity, different people from the different countries, or caste or religion. Right? We discriminate sometimes. We give preferences to our own community. That is a discrimination, but that should not be, right? So that we are going to discuss today, right? This is the meaning of that. Discrimination on the basis of age, sex, and disability. Now, if we talk about the self concept, what is the meaning of self concept? Who am I? I'm just going to recognize myself. Who am I? How we perceive means understand. Ourself means our behavior. How we will be able to understand our behavior, how we will be able to understand our ability. And we have unique characteristics. So sometimes it's very difficult to understand ourselves. Sometimes we understand rightly other people or wrongly other people, right to wrong. But sometimes it's very difficult to understand ourselves. Self concept, for example, belief such as I'm a good friend, I'm a kind person, that I think that I am a good man. This is self concept. I'm intelligent. Yes, this is the self concept. I'm helpful. I'm a kind person. I'm generous. This is self concept. So all these words are related to something, related to perceptions, related to perceiving something, related to understanding something, and related to realizing something or becoming aware of something. So look at this. This is the perception and self concept in engineering. Stereotype, discrimination, and other misperceptions are a few of the reasons why women are underrepresented in the engineering profession. This is also one of the reasons. Means underestimating something. Why you are going to underestimate on the basis of sex? They are a man or a woman. The women cannot be in the engineering profession. This is only because of the three things: stereotyped, discrimination, and misperceptions. The fact is there in front of you. One example: women represents less than 15% of the engineering workforce in Canada. This is the fact. And around 20% of students enrolled in Canadian engineering programs. So this is where I'm talking about the women. Only 20% means the rest of means rest of the 80% of the women, they have enrolled or they are just enrolling themselves in the different fields, maybe arts or business courses or architecture, but not in engineering. Social identity problems for women. So engineering is a typical identified and means a stereotyped. Typically, right? There are typical means we can say that engineering line is a stereotype, means typically identified as a male job. Why not a women job? With work in harsh conditions, it means that women are not meant for working in the harsh conditions. So women less likely to identify themselves with that occupations. Construction work, for example, painting, for example, harsh conditions. They are not so strong. This is the conception. Discrimination against women in engineering. Prejudice, I mean the biasness. False claim. It's not a right claim. It's a false claim that women are not suited biologically or personality wise to engineering. Why women are not suited, right? This is the prejudice, biasness, discrimination. This is only because of the discrimination. Male engineers treat female engineers as less capable, dumbing down conversations, talking over the leadership of the project. Now, if we talk about the self concept, which is defined as follows: our self belief, our self evaluation. Now, what is a self concept? Is a self belief. I believe that I am this one. I believe I am going to evaluate myself because my mentality is saying that this guy cannot do this one. This kind of people are like that. That kind of people are very intelligent. This kind of people are not brainy, right? That kind of people are just so lazy. Who is telling this one? Our brain is telling. Means our belief system. Our belief system is explaining to ourselves first. We ask ourselves, who am I and how do I feel about myself first. This is we are talking about myself, we are talking about ourselves. So guide our decisions and actions according to what we are. And we compare our images of job with our current, means perceived self, and a desired, mean ideal self, to determine fit. And three level of self concept we can say. The first, we view ourselves in terms of our personal traits, means individual self. Connection to friends and co-worker, mean relation self. First ourself, means I am an individual, what I think about myself. Connection to the friends and co-worker means how my co-worker and how my friends think about myself, or what I am thinking about them, what they are thinking about me. Relational self. Then role in the terms of organization or society, why and how society thinks about myself. Self concept. Now we have three C's and four selves. So three C's are complexity, three C's: complexity, consistency, and clarity. And four selves are social self, social enhancement, self-enhancement, self-evaluation, and self-verification. Now first we will discuss about the self-concept characteristics, my three C's. The first one is complexity. Number of distinct or important identifies people perceive about themselves. People have multiple self-concept, how to work and shift their self-view from parent to manager role. Well, you are a parent, right? You are working at you're you are married, you have your responsibilities, right? So from the parental role to the managerial role. And work from home, that may be very difficult, right? Your self concept become more complex. Who am I, right? For example, as you move from being an accountant to manager, because you have acquired additional role, whether you are in positions to take more responsibilities, is your self concept. This is the first C, complexity. What do you think about that? It's complex. Then consistency. How consistency, when high consistency, there is a high consistency and the low. The high consistency means when multiple selves require similar personality attributes, same kind of attributes, the characteristics are there, then you will say the high consistency. And high consistency when self views are compatible with actual attributes, that you will be consistent towards one thing. There is a chances of keeping in one place more of the time. High inconsistency. Then the third, the self concept, clarity. High clarity. There will be high clarity, there will be less clarity. Mean clarification. Clarification of what? Clarification of ourselves. We should be clear of ourselves. High clarity means when person's self concept is totally clear, when he or she confidently define about ourselves. Yes, I am that kind of personality. They are so confident, they are so firm about who am I. Sometimes it's very difficult to give answer of one question: who are you? What's your qualities? Who am I? Who I am? So very difficult sometimes. Can describe. When the clarity is very high, that person will be able to describe important identities to the others, and can provide the same descriptions of the dominant self across time. Dominant self means I am a prominent in this one. I'm a good at this one. That it's a clarity. Some people say I am good in communication. So with the people, I'm extrovert. I know that I'm extrovert. They have 100% clarity, high clarity. So when there is a clarity, it increases with age. If one person say, take an example of a person, of a kid, right, of like 5 years or 6 or 7 years old, and ask like, what do you want to be when you grow up? You say, oh, I want to be a doctor. It's not clear. I want to be an engineer. Okay. And so, oh, what do you want to be like? For a boy, ask like, what do you want to be? I want to become a papa. And right, for a mother, right, for a girl, I want to become a mama, right? So age, it's an age. When they grow up, they say they don't know, like even they were not aware about what they said. As they grow up, like 20 years, 25, even you are like between 20, right, around 20. So if I ask you these questions, what do you want to be, then again there will be some confusion, but you have a little bit idea. But once you grew up, maybe 25 years, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and so on, right? Clarity, more clarity with higher age. So personality and value becomes relevantly stable by adulthood, and we develop a better self-awareness through life experiences. With the life experience, with the real experience, we come to know what kind of personality we are, and we are clear about what we are, and not clear when we are young or a teenager or when we are a kid. So definitely clarity will be higher. Clarity will be higher about self. When multiple selves have higher consistency, means the one job, one thing consistently that you're doing the same thing number of time, then you will come to know this is for you. Someone is driving a truck, right, and is driving for long period of time, maybe a 2 3 years, but after then he realized, no, this is not the job that I want. This I don't want. This is not my personality. I was a doctor there in some country. I was a doctor somewhere in the country. Then here I'm just driving a truck, and for 3 years I'm driving. I just want to set up my own transportation company. But that was not clarity. It means that person don't want to go further in this line. Consistently doing the same thing, they will be having some clarity. You will be having some clarity. Consistency reduces ambiguity of various identities. Now what will be the outcome of a self concept characteristics? What will be the outcome? Better psychological well-being with multiple self, means multiple selves. I am this one, I am that one, I am this one, I know this one, I will be consistent with that one. mean more complexity, more and more complexity may be there, right? So high consistency self, that also determine about yourself. Well established selves means, it means clarity, well established about ourselves. So less ambiguity means not clearness, means it less ambiguity means more clear. Less sway means away, right? Sway by influential people. Some people are saying, oh, you are good at this, you should start this. If you are clear about yourself, you will not be involved, you will not be influenced by other people. I mean less swayed by the influential people, less stress in decisions. You know that what you're going to do, and there will be less stress in the decision once you are clear about yourself, less threatened by threats to the self-esteem. Now effect on individual behavior and performance. Now what will be the effect? We know that self concept characteristics are there. Now what will be the effect of individual behavior and performance in the organization? If we are clear, if the person who is working in the organization is very much clear about himself or herself, then there will be high self concept complexity, more adaptive, more diverse network, more stressful, uh, more resources needed to maintain several identities. When there is a high self concept complexity, when complexity is more, when it is more complex, then these are the problems that we will have. These will be the outcome of the self concept characteristics. If on the other side, if less complex self is there, it means more investment in fewer roles. You know that this role, few roles mean less roles. This role is for me. Definitely I invest my time and energy and money in that, which may lead to the higher performance, otherwise low performance, if more complexity is there. Then if high self concept clarity, self concept complexity, now this is a self concept clarity. If you are 100% clear about that, then definitely there will be a better performance in the organization, better leadership, and better career development, and less threatened by conflict. But very high clarity may cause role inflexibility. If you are 100% clear, very high clarity about yourself, then it means you are not adaptive. That may be the constraint, that may be the problem. You will not be able to adopt, you will not be able to adapt those things sometime which they are highly in need. So you will be inflexible, less adaptive to change. Now these are the C's, means complexity, consistency, and clarity. Now we have four selves. The first one is a positive quality to ourselves, means self-enhancement. It means that the person who is considering ourselves, like how I will be enhancing mean improvement, mean positive quality to oneself. That is the self-enhancement. It means drive to promote and protect a positive self view. And second is self verification. People prefer others to see them as they see themselves. So people, what their self verification is, they just want to verify something, what it is, what the qualities of that. Now they are just want to verify whether this is true or not. We want to verify. For example, there is a driving license. We want to verify the identity. What they will say, they will check in the ID card the same photo, and the person who is standing in front of you is the same. They are going to verify at the passport office, or at the time of immigration. They will see the passport, and number of times they look at you, number of times, 2 3 4 times, and the person who is standing get confused sometimes. Oh, that what will happen, whether I am at this, my photo is same or not, right? I mean, they are verifying. So here, that you are going to verify about yourself. You have this kind of personality, and just you want to confirm this one from others, and people prefer others to see themselves, as they see, to see them as they see themselves. The third one is the social self, and the self evaluation. The self evaluation is ability to examine yourself to find out how much progress have you made. Means evaluation. It's clear from the name itself. Evaluation. It's not a verification. This is evaluation. Evaluation criteria is there for the student in the class. Number of one project, one criteria. Second project. Third, internal assessment, midterm exam, final exam. This is the evaluation process. In the organization, the evaluations, that may be for the production evaluation. This was the capacity, right? 1000 units that should be produced. This was the target, and just they have produced 980. Why there is the 20 less? Right? They just going to evaluate that. Why there is a variation between these two? Now, self-evaluation, ability to examine yourself, to find out how much progress have you made. The last year you were at this position. Now this year you have this at this position. You are going to evaluate yourself. The fourth self is the self, is social self. How we perceive ourselves in relation to others. Means how we consider ourselves in relation to others. Means that the people that we are communicating, the people we are interacting on a daily basis, the employees that are here in the organization you are interacting. For example, whether you are outgoing personality or you are a reserved personality, you are going to answer this question to yourself. Means social self, means related to self, related to the society. These are the four selves. Okay. Now there are some examples. There are something that I'm going to explain this. The first is self-enhancement here. So self-enhancement, the first one, this one is the self-enhancement. Drive to promote and protect a positive self-view. I am this one. I am a positive about myself. I'm just going to promote this one. I am a competent in this. Attractive, lucky, ethical, value. I'm lucky guy. Sometimes people say, right? Self-enhancement in the positive way, evident in common and important situations. Self-enhancement outcomes. What will be the outcome of the self-enhancement? Better mental and physical health. Enhancement is related to the positive, right? How much that we are positive about this one. Enhanced. High motivation due to I can do this one. I can do believe. Yes, I can do that. Means more confident. Riskier decisions. They will be able to take the riskier decisions in life because can do. They believe they can do that, and they do. They fulfill their dreams. They fulfill what they thought. Inflated perceived personal casuations and slower to recognize mistakes. Sometime the self-enhancement outcome will be they will be less in recognizing their mistakes. They, because they see they are more confident, sometimes they may be overconfident. I can do that one, but there may be some mistakes they do, but they will be slower. It doesn't mean that they will not be able to, but they will be slower in recognizing their own mistakes. That is the self enhancement. And the second one is self verifications. So self verification is motivation to confirm and maintain our existing self concept. It's a self verification. Self verifications. So motivation to confirm and maintain our existing self concept. Now we want to verify first in enhancement. Now we want to verify whether if I am extrovert, whether I am extrovert or not. I want to verify from other asking, what do you think about myself? It says that you are extrovert, you are outgoing, and some people say, oh, you always most of the time I see that you are in tense mood, or you don't talk much to the people. They just want to verify about ourselves, right? So that is the self verification. How other people think about me, self verification. Okay, so now motivation to confirm and maintain our existing self concept. Those who see themselves as extroverted want others to see them as extroverted. Yes, if for example I am extroverted and outgoing personality, and I want that the others should consider me exactly the same. If I am extroverted, I consider myself as extroverted. I want other people also consider me as extroverted, outgoing personality. Me, I'm just going to verify from others that what kind of personality I am on the basis of that what I think. Stabilize our self concept and self verification outcome. Now stabilize our self concept. We communicate self concept to others, means we are talking to others regarding this one, and we seek a confirmation feedback whether I am outgoing or not. For example, whether I am talkative, too much talking, right? Whether I'm talkative or not, that we just want a feedback from others to verify. This is a self verification. Now what will be if we do all these things, self verification, then what will be the outcome of that? So outcome will be that affect the perception. So whatever that we perceived, whatever we think, whatever we have our thinking level, right? So we will be just a selective attentions. Selective attentions means we will talk to those people that they think that if I am an extrovert, they should think that I am an extrovert. So there is only selective attentions. That will be the outcome of a self verification. And sometimes dismiss the feedback contrary to self concept. Sometimes they don't want to take a feedback who is going to say, oh no, you are not like that, and motivated to interact with those who affirm ourselves. And definitely you would like to talk to those people who are saying, yes, you are extroverted, you are intelligent, right? Whether you are intelligent or non-extroverted or introverted, that is a different thing. But outcome will be that it definitely will motivate you or to interact and communicate with those people who affirm, yes, your self view. I mean, affect how well employees get along with the team members and bosses. Now next is the evaluation part, self evaluation. In self evaluation we see self esteem, self efficacy, and locus of control. self evaluation, self esteem, accent to which people like, accent to people respect and are satisfied with themselves. High self esteem means less influenced by others and more persistent and more logical thinking. Some people are of high self esteem. They are not influenced by other people, they know what they are. Self efficacy. Self efficacy means the belief that we can successfully perform a task. It's a Mars factor that we did. The general self efficacy means can do believe across the situations, and higher self efficacy produces higher overall self evaluation. Locus of control means a general belief about personal control over life events, and higher self evaluation with internal locus of control. Next, we have social self. Social self means related to the society, right? Opposing motives need to be distinctive or unique means a personal identity towards a society, need of inclusion or assimilation so with others means social identity. We define ourselves by groups and we are easily identified with. We are identified. Employee that who is working in the organization is identified as fill in the blanks, right? Maybe this kind of a personality. Social self, not with another one person, maybe the whole society or what the whole society think about him or her, the group or the team of the people in the organization, what they think about. Social self that have high status and our minority status in a situation. An individual society that you can see here. The first is a social identity. This guardian group employees are there about the individual's social identity, and this is one group of people they are thinking, and another group of people that are universal level graduates, right? Is a social identity, and a Canadian or a residents or a citizen, Canadian residents and citizens. So what the groups are thinking about, what what they think, like if the employees are working in the another organization or employees from the other residents of the another countries or a citizen of another country, how they think, and graduates from another schools, how they think, how they perceive, means some group of people, how they think about that individuals. Now perception and selective attentions.